Hi everyone, Tula here with Key Wellness. In my last video I left off talking about my beginning to get ready to go to college. So in this video I'm going to pick up and continue on my journey into college. When I was getting toward the end of high school, I did not have anybody in my life to mentor or guide me into the process of going into college. Neither one of my parents had gotten a college degree, neither knew what was involved. And so I relied heavily on the admissions department of where it is I wanted to go to school to make arrangements for selecting a major, choosing the classes I need to choose, and then arranging for funding to pay for my degree. And so from the very beginning, which college to go to became a big question because that would be highly driven by what it was I wanted to pursue. And as I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to become a park ranger. I wanted a career outdoors in the wilderness. And there was a lot of pressure on me because I had performed well in school, because I got really good grades, was very good at debating. There was a lot of pressure and a great expectation that I was going to become an attorney and then go into politics. Now, let's talk about that for a little bit. What was driving that desire for people to see me, people being family and some faculty members, wanting to see me pursue politics and law as a career? Granted, I was good at it and I did enjoy debate. I still do today. I love mental pursuits and challenges, but it's not what I wanted to do for a career. So I want to look at that a little bit because nowadays, and especially if you're a young person and you're looking at your future, I want to share with you the kind of vision I had at the age of 17. Let's talk about what drives the people who were pressuring me. What was in it for them? I think for my parents, there was the ego, the desire to be able to say, hey, look at my daughter, she's an attorney. Look at my daughter, she's this politician. And if you look at that more deeply, then what you'll see is that's driven by society. That's a societal status symbol. Oh, this person has power. And it's often assumed this person has money. And as a society, we have agreed that we value both power and money. But I want you to stop and seriously look at yourself and your life right now like I did then and ask yourself, does power, social power, does that matter to me? And if social power does matter to me, is that how I define social power? Is that the kind of social power I value? We live in a society today that operates on a false assumption. And this is the assumption that in order to be a person of import, to be someone who has social power, the hallmark of that, the way to measure it, is in how many people you affect. Not how deeply you affect them, not how significantly you affect them, not how well you affect them, for the better or for the worse, just how many people. In this world of social media, it's how many followers do I have? Or, oh, they're on TV, they're a singer, they're a professional football player, and their face is all over the place, so that makes them important because lots and lots of people know who they are. Is that really social power? Is it? What is a society other than a group of people trying to accomplish a common goal? That's what a society is. And how does somebody who sings a song or performs in a TV show or a movie or on a football field or a baseball field, how are they driving matters and themes that are important to society? Now, leave out the fact that media uses them as a mouthpiece. That's all staging. The fact remains, them as a human being, when they wake up in the morning, what is their day like? What is their family like? What do they truly believe in? You don't know. You don't know, but yet Society flocks after and follows these people because they were told they were important. Nobody woke up one day and decided, oh, Joe Blow football player, he needs to be important in my life. No, you start to see him. The media puts him out there. Little Susie Q singer. The media tells you that, oh, she's important. She's a popular singer. And, oh, this is what she's all about. But you don't know that. And yet we put these people on a pedestal. So I want you to stop and rethink, what is really societal power? And does that matter to you? Stop and think about the people that really made a difference in your life, because I challenge you to rethink societal power. How about the doctor that saved your life? I've had a lot of those because I've had several near-death experiences, which I will talk about in another video. How about the teacher that made a difference, maybe helped you make a major decision, as my guidance counselor did, to zero in on what your life goals were and change the course of your life? What about someone in the moment of a trauma or a serious situation in your life and they were there for you? Maybe they changed, maybe they saved your life. They didn't just change the course of it, but they saved your life. Or they saved the life of someone you know. Maybe they did it physically, like a doctor. Maybe they did it psychologically, like maybe not a psychologist, maybe just a best friend. What is societal power to you? To answer that question, if you look at what society is, people after a common goal, then you need to decide, what is your goal in life? What matters to you? And that is the society where you want to have an impact. That's your society. Those are your people. And that's where you want to have an impact. Otherwise, you'll do like so many movie stars you hear about. They're so popular and then they fall into an abyss and commit suicide because their life to them, they were not true to themselves, and they did not follow after and serve what mattered to them. So at this juncture in your life, if you're trying to make a major decision, put that noise aside for a moment and decide for yourself what matters. How can you be true to yourself? What is society to you? For me, it was all those people who valued nature. It was nature itself. It was the serenity of being outdoors. It was the beauty of majestic mountains. It was a bird soaring in the sky. It was walking under a canopy of lush green trees. That's what society was to me, and all those people who valued it. And that's where I had to go to make a difference. It didn't matter to me if my face was ever on TV. It mattered to me that as I breathe my last someday, I will know that I served that which meant so much to me. And it was this understanding of that which was important to me that gave me the strength in the face of so much pressure to cling to that which I knew I truly valued. It didn't matter to me about their society and what they thought was power. It mattered to me to have an impact on that which I valued. And as for the money, I'll get into that in just a moment. But before I do, I want you to take a moment and I want you to stop and think about what I've said. Society sets us up to accept the standards it sets and to define what is important by what the masses think is important. But you're here for a specific purpose. You're not here to be one of the many in a mass in a sea of nameless faces. You're not here to just be like everybody else and accept what everybody else accepts. You're here for a specific purpose. And in order to live a life fulfilled, you must fulfill that purpose. You must meet that purpose. You must serve it. And the only way you're going to do that is to silence the noise of society and shut off the voices of what everybody else says is important and listen to your inner voice. Listen to what matters to you. So if you're facing a major life decision at this point, the best thing you can do is turn off social media, turn off the TV, turn off the radio, turn off the noise. Find solace and serenity Get some quiet time away to yourself with your own thoughts and be still and listen to your inner voice. Many of us don't know how to listen to our inner voice anymore. We've gotten so accustomed to the noise and we've become so desensitized to our own feelings and our own thoughts that we don't even know what we want anymore. And I will be doing videos on this to walk you through this process, because you cannot live a quality life until you know who you are and what matters to you, so that you can have dreams and then pursue them. But now I'll move on to the financial aspects and my philosophy on money, which only made me freer. So aside from all the pressure to pursue something that would give me social status, which obviously did nothing to budge me, there was also a lot of arguments, oh, you won't have any money. And at the age of 17, this is what I already knew and understood. My counter to the, oh, you won't have any money, what will you do for money? Park rangers don't earn anything. I countered with the following. What will I need money for? First of all, a lot of times government housing is provided, so I won't need money to pay for a place to live. It will be provided. And I'll be living where it's inexpensive. I'll be living out in the country where it's not expensive to live at all. So the amount of money I make will be proportionate to where I'm living. And finally, my biggest argument was, and what is money for anyway? Money is to do one thing, and that is to buy quality of life. And I'll already have it. I will already be living the dream. I will already be every day, 24/7, 365, in the place I would go if I were taking a vacation every day. I will wake up in my dream world. I will work in my dream world. I will live in my dream world. I will be completely immersed in everything that I want. Where I would go if I was working at some desk job, the first place I would run to when I was free. So, obviously, that's my quality of life. And if I am not working a desk job, I don't have to wait for the 2 weeks of vacation and spend all the money I've saved so I can have 2 weeks in the wilderness, 2 weeks in nature, 2 weeks in my dream location. No, I will be there every day. Do I need money for a vacation? No, I'll be living a vacation. And where would I go? Because I'm already where I would be on my vacation. And they didn't have an argument for that. So let's talk again, this time about society and money. Society is selling you a bill of goods and keeping you enslaved behind a desk because you think you need to earn money. And why do you need to earn money? To have things that you like. And why do you want to have things that you like? So that you'll have quality of life. Stop and think about it for a minute. Step off the treadmill. Get out of the hamster wheel and think for a moment. Why do you want money? You want it because society told you it was important. You want it because you need it for certain things. Sure, you need money for groceries. You need money to pay for a place to live. But ultimately, that's just surviving. That's not living. You live when you have quality of life. And that is what you should shoot for first, and everything along the way will work itself out. So, what is money but a vehicle for quality of life? There are so many other ways to get quality of life. So what you need to do is you need to come at this different than what society tells you. Society will tell you you need to go to school and get good grades. And then when you get good grades, you can go to college. And then when you go to college, you can get a degree. And then when you get a degree, you can get a good job. Well, that works if that's the track you want and the job you want, your dream job requires a degree. But is that what you really want? Do you really want to have a desk job, living in crowded suburbia, then having to commute every day, sitting for hours in rush hour traffic, breathing in the fumes, listening to the honking, the radio blaring, and just the aggravation and the stress day in and day out, because stress is the #1 killer? Have you taken the time to sit down and think about what really matters to you? And do you really need to participate in the rat race? Maybe what you really want is something so much simpler. And if that's what you want, does it matter what anybody else thinks of it? Does it matter what society rates it on their sliding scale of 1 to 10? Oh, he makes millions and lives in this fancy house and everybody knows his name, and that's a success? Or is your idea of success, like mine, a log cabin in the woods where nobody knows your name, and you sit on your porch and the birds are singing and the deer traipse through your yard, and you never deal with rush hour traffic, you never stress, you don't bother with TV because you've got enough entertainment right there on your front porch, and the friends that you make are friends to the heart, and the things that you do matter to you and to the people with and for whom you do them. What is really your quality of life? And if it is not the rat race, then I always say when I'm coaching somebody, start at the end and work your way back. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Not where society says you should be. Where do you want to be? What do you love? What matters to you? And at the age of 17, I knew this. I knew what it was I wanted, and so I set my sights on it, and it all fell into place. And it all fell into place because I put into action something that I didn't even realize I was doing. And in another video, I will be talking about the reticular activation system. That is what I activated. That is how I drew to me and found my way through the maze and to exactly what it was I was after. And that was the first time I did it with that kind of determination and pointedness and focus and made it come directly to me. And there's nothing magic about that. You can do it too. And that is what I do every day, teaching people, coaching people how to make that happen. And in my future videos, I will be talking about how you can access and activate your reticular activation system and make your dreams come to you. But it all begins with knowing what your dreams are. And so I invite you to take some time away to be still and to find a quiet place and listen to that inner voice and identify what your dreams are. What is your quality of life? This is Tula wishing you a great quality of life, and we'll talk to you soon.